welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm LaClaw Scott, and today we are reviewing Sasquatch Sunset.
Right.
New film by David Zellner and Nathan Zellner, starring a Zellner and Jesse Eisenberg and Riley Keough.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we went to a special screening at Metrograph here in New York.
Yes. With your friend Deb the Scientist, who has also made an appearance on a No Movies in Hell episode.
That's right. Our 2023 wrap-up.
I thought this looked interesting. It's an Ari Aster produced movie.
Ah.
The trailer looks interesting. I like Riley Keough a lot.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, I would watch anything that she's in. And I still stand by that because she was the most interesting character in this movie.
Yes.
But it wasn't great. If you really like blue humor, like if you think every fart joke is funny, you would probably like this movie and think that it was funny.
I never thought, wait, that's the category that it's called, like blue humor?
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Yes. If you like bodily function humor, this is the movie for you.
Yeah. I mean, I would say this is very interesting. Like the time frame would probably be the late 80s, early 90s. It's seemingly about, because there's absolutely no dialogue, the last of its kind type of film where these Sasquatches are roaming around a national park. And it seems like they're trying to find their tribe of people. And things happen, like nature happens.
Right.
But I do, think that this movie makes for, because there's no dialogue, because there's certain peril and circumstances, it makes for a film that is very memeable in this time. And maybe that was what this film was going for, because you already have like the setup of, Bigfoot, Sasquatch. They are roaming around, they're eating, and they're trying to find, seemingly, because we don't know, because there's no dialogue, there's no human, but they're trying to find others. But one thing I did enjoy about this film were the animals and their expressions, the other animals. So I guess the guest stars.
Right.
Their expressions towards like these costumes and these characters. So
yes, agree. That was probably the best part of the movie. So let's put aside all the issues of like them living in this them living in this national park. So they have to all be related to each other, right? Because they can't find, but they are also like. So it lends questions of like the relationships between each of them.
Yes, it does.
They have the run of this park, apparently, or this reserve. But when they come across a paved road, now you would think if they lived in this park, they would have heard the road being worked on at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
They wouldn't
or heard
be so
trees
shocking.
Fall, or yeah.
Right. A lot of the things that happened they just seemed as if the Sasquatch just got there.
Yeah. Or yeah, maybe they were on the move and are coming closer to civilization because there's no food, or they're trying to find their people. And I don't know if it's a commentary on climate change and in deforestation, because you see some of that. Yeah, and like forest fire. So it's like, is it the destruction of their home? But maybe, and then I kind of took a step back, considering everything that happens in this film. And I'm going to say that I'm not going to over intellectualize it whatsoever.
Yeah, probably wise. I wouldn't recommend this movie to anyone. Although Dak said that someone sent him an article that's like Nathan Zellner dressed up as a Sasquatch and walked through Central Park to promote the movie, which I thought was clever. That might have been the most clever thing about this movie.
It's all the promo that they're going to get and all the memes.
Well, the
And
trailer itself was very clever.
yes.
Yes. So, not great. Let's go to the slides.
Could this be our first film that like didn't do very well? Oh my goodness.
Wow, you get costumes at 2.5.
Actually, I thought they were pretty impressive.
Mm.
Yeah, I think like costumes and hair makeup, like aside from the overall content of the film, I think is actually pretty impressive. Like I would not be able to tell that these were the actors underneath the costumes. So I think that from that perspective, it was a good job. I think the acting alone, considering it was all movement and no dialogue, was fine. I liked the cinematography and I liked like the shots. And I mean, if anything, this movie is like a reality TV show for all the wild animals that were. It was like, like America's Funniest Home Videos, except for out in the woods. So.
Thing on the acting part of it, I just felt like they did not move like you would think a Sasquatch would move. Like, especially there's that one scene where they're like standing at the edge of the cliff and they're looking out at over the valley and the scenery, which is lovely. And they're standing perfectly upright, like even straighter than I would stand. I expect the Sasquatch to hunch over a little bit.
Mm.
I felt like there would be more embodiment of the Sasquatch was completely there. And the costumes, similar. Like I didn't think the costumes moved in a natural way.
Mm.
Like the stomachs looked very solid. Like they didn't hang like an actual like fleshy sort of stomach would. Also, the baby freaked me out.
Oh my gosh, yes. So the animatronic baby I thought was probably the one of the most hilarious bits. And the constant crying.
Right. And that it never gained weight. Like it was always so skinny.
Well, it was only like for a few months, I guess, at that point, right? Because it was in the latter
babies
part.
are like fat. This thing was so skinny. Like it was disturbing. It reminded me of the Sewer Boys.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Maybe that's a prequel to the Sewer Boys.
Maybe. You gave the story a 2.
I think just overall, I thought that it was just fine. It's like the story was fine because it was just like the way that I interpreted it, they were trying to find their people and overall. And then, yes, there were the crude and crassness. But I think there's some endearing qualities around like, especially towards the end where it's like they find lots of spoilers. They find the museum and it's like just trying to figure out like what's going on and who's, there. Yeah, I just thought it was fine. Like, I feel like if I would have liked it more, then it would be more than a 2.
I'm impressed that you gave it a 2. Anything else you want to say about Sasquatch Sunset?
Nothing in particular about the film, but I feel like for the distribution of the film, I'm wondering if this will be around, considering there's a lot of competition currently. I'm pretty sure that this film will get a cult following of some sort.
I was at AMC this morning watching Dogman, and I saw a promo for Sasquatch Sunset. So I guess AMC is going to release it, at least in New York.
I wonder how many people will complain about the blue humor. I just feel like it kind of sets itself up to be on that path of like, this is going to happen and people are not going to be happy with it, especially kids see it or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, I think it would be one thing if the trailer portrayed that was what the movie was going to be all about, but it doesn't. And I think that's where you're going to have people complaining because their expectations are not being set in advance for that. And it's really like 98% that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to plug in this episode?
No, just, spring movie season. And hopefully there are films that stay around. I just feel like some things are leaving quicker. Yeah, I feel like quicker than before. So I'm hoping to catch some stuff soon. What stuff? Well, Alex Garland's movie comes out very soon. So
Civil
I'm
War.
very excited for Civil War. I think not high on the radar, but definitely on my list of things to watch because of continuity would be the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which I just have not had the time to see. Those are the first two that I could think of. What about you, Chris?
Saw a promo for Boy Kills World, which looks amazing. I love H. Tom Benjamin as Archer and as Bob from Bob's Burgers and as Coach McGurk from Home Movies. So super excited to see that movie when it comes out. That one looks good. Daddio looks good. I've seen the trailer for that twice now. Sean Penn was just in a movie that was out, and I've missed it already because this was the last week it was out. But Asphalt City, yeah, that came and went too quickly. But I do think there are a lot of probably really good things that are coming in and going fast. That if we're not paying attention, we're gonna like miss them. Metrograph is doing a series of Korean movies by Lee Chang-dong, I think, and his movie Burning was on Netflix. So I think a lot of people maybe saw that, but they're doing 5 or 6 of his movies, and Burning is one of them. So Burning was great. If you haven't seen it, I recommend.
Oh, I definitely need to check that out then.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.